Okay, hello. Let's see what we have here. So we have Damir, and we have both the human design and the gene case. So first of all, when I see this, what actually stood out to me is the cross of Clarion that I think is a really beautiful cross that has to do with intuition and spontaneous, I could say, ability to guide others. And as a 6-2 profile is something that later in life, or as life goes along, you're also going to be more prone to kind of live your life by your own intuitive guidance. Since you're a 6-2, I can see here what year you're born. I'm going to be able to see that in the gene key profile. You're going to be able to be more of that role model and actually walk your talk and live that by yourself. But up to the age of 28, 30, to your Saturn return, it is a lot about trial and error. And also in your case, we can see that you have the nodes that have to do with doubt and inquiry. So part of your life, and it's a line one, no, it's line 5 and line 3. But yeah, so part of your life is going to be to question things and to feel sometimes confused, and that's normal. And you can see here that you have an open center with the 63 and the 64 and the 61. So there are activations that give you the possibility to be very, open and take in and have imagination and inquiry and inspiration. At the same time, you can feel pressure from the outside to kind of to answer other people's questions and answers your own questions about existence, and it can go even into the confusion and doubt and even the kind of forcing to figure out things like what we call psychosis in the gene keys, which is not psychosis in the sense of like a mental illness, but that this wanting to have the answers for the existential questions. And that together with this mind center that is completely open and also have this this gate 11 twice. Actually, yeah, you might be born in the beginning of the 80s. Because there's a lot of ideas, and sometimes you might even feel doubt what of those ideas you're here to develop. And there I would like to say that that's going to depend on who comes in your life and where you're at. Then it's going to fall naturally. So don't force again for those ideas to be developed. And then we can see you also have the gift of intuition in your Mercury, which is part of how you communicate to the world, how you think, how you analyze. There is this really powerful gift of intuition that is natural for you. You can see it here too. It's a second line, and you're good at giving feedback. Again, like intuitive feedback to people. It's part of your communication style. And then as we started to speak about the kind of risks about the open centers where you take in energy from your environment, and either you can be very influenced by that and conditioned, or you can become wise. What I say when you have centers that are completely open, it's that really, especially as a 6-2, is you're here to become wise about this. And actually, I would say as a role model, you're here to help humanity kind of through this. And I have a lot of actually people that I'm working with, other therapists and coaches and people that work in tantra with emotional like release and the emotional body, I should say, that have this completely open emotional center. And it is about being able to discern and feel more than anything all the emotions that are kind of exaggerated or distorted right now in humanity, because we are purifying the center. We are learning to come back to our intuition and to let go of living just from the mind or the left brain, and then cleaning out and purifying the emotions that are kind of roller coasters and that make us not be stable, so that we can live from our life force and feel things in our heart and our direction, who we are, and express that through truth for us. So kind of living from the core of our being instead of living here from like emotions and the mind and kind of like an animalistic instinct. Just really come back to the core. So when this center is open, you have that ability to see around you the turbulence, the dishonor, the weakness, the conflict, the reactions, the victimization, the desire. And you can, especially the first part of your life, you could be very influenced by it and kind of avoid conflict and confrontation in order to not have to feel all that is outside of you and be influenced by it. And the same thing with how we use our energy. How do we use our life force? What do we put, energy on? And here you're also completely open. So this can be in the beginning of your life that depending on who you're with, you kind of tune into their energy and life force. And you might actually exhaust yourself with other people because you feel like you have energy, but then once you're on your own again, like once you go home at night, you're completely exhausted. So this is something about learning to know yourself and learning to know your energy, learning boundaries in that sense. And this is also something where I feel like humanity is kind of conditioned to do and do and do. And here you have this unique gift of being completely open and just making humanity, making other people more aware of what they are engaging in, how they are using their energy, which go together with the open root and the pressure from the outside of doing things. And here we can see it has to do with your vitality. So again, if you pressure yourself to hurry to get things done, to not have any pressure from the outside, your risk of really draining yourself again and losing your vitality. And you can see you also have the 40 here. So in a shadow frequency, there could be exhaustion for you if you would live from your open centers, trying to figure things out and pretending that you're certain about things that you actually only have ideas about. And if you think it's you and not the others, when there could be emotions that are exaggerated. And if you kind of tap into other people's energy and think that you should be able to do what they are doing, and you're hurrying for people to to kind of be done with things, that could really lead to exhaustion for you, and that could lead to you feeling dissatisfied with life and like you compromise your own truth. That's the really, really big thing we're going to see in the gene keys for the sixth line personality Earth and personality Sun. So for you, what's really consistent, where the energy comes from you and go out in the world, is that you have this amazing intuition, especially in the now. So it's a spontaneous intuition. You're also here to find people that are on your same soul fractal. So finding the people that you can co-create with, very important, and that make you feel like you can trust your vision. You have self-worth, and part of that is to initiate and to accept things as they are. So you have a kind of shamanic thing here that's giving you possibility. Life is going to have a shock for you, and sometimes it's going to feel probably like like there's a lot of shock, but that leads to an initiative to something new, and your life kind of goes by this kind of moments of shock, and then something new is initiating. And in all that, you learn acceptance, and you even learn kind of unconditional love. You have that ability to see how, or like feel into and see how these energies work together. And then you have you are here to know who you are and where you're going and what love is. So you're independent in that sense. Yourself doesn't depend on others. So that's important for you to be able to live out. You have a big aura, as when you walk into a room, people can feel you. And then you have the throat center, where you have your expression is unique. You have your own style. You have a kind of sense of adventure. That could be a kind of hunger earlier years in your life, and you could be even, the serotonin's levels have to do with this 35th gene key or gate. So there could be moments where you would feel a kind of, anxiety or depression, or your serotonin, your tryptophan would be a little bit out of whack, and then you would kind of go for to try to make that hunger for the moment kind of disappear. So that's something to look out for. I want to see where you have it. Yeah, so it's in your Venus. Yeah, so that actually has to do with, you know, your inner feminine, your inner child. So hopefully when you were a child, um, you had mentors that you could, you know, you have some role models that you can look up to, and that's actually good for you in life, especially feminine mentors. Yeah, to kind of see that energy moving in the world could be good. And then again, like, you know, the awareness in the now, you can have a lot of precision when you speak. So there might be, as life goes on, that you see what you want to focus on, and that you can have a lot of precision on that thing, and how you kind of, you know, how you live that in the world or share that in the world. So let me go into the gene keys and see it from another perspective. Yeah, so we see here 88, right? So yeah, in the 80s, you're born in Serbia. So here, I'm wondering if I can make it bigger. So here we see you are a 6-2 profile. You can see there's a dot 57.6 and 51.6, and on this side is 62 point or dot 2 and 61.2. So that's the line that you have both in your life's work in evolution, and in your radiance, and in your purpose. So we call this the activation sequence. So for you, the challenge is that you are a visionary, that there could be something in your life that shows you that you need to compromise, you know, that you can't really find other people that can live the vision with you. So what would happen for you when you compromise your vision, you can't live out your life as a role model or as a teacher. And there would be a lot of even like physical unease and agitation in your life. Like you will feel it on a physical level that something is kind of wrong, or that you're kind of afraid of going to happen. It's a very physical kind of pressure, and that would lead to you often going up to your mind and try to figure out things with your mind, because you have unease when you're trying to be in the body. And when that happens, even in relationships, they become kind of dry, and you know, you're trying to kind of find um, you're kind of trying to make them interesting and like adventurous, maybe by, you know, promiscuity, or just changing people in your life, or, you know, trying to make it more fun. But it actually doesn't really work, because there's a lot of head in that. And then here your core wound will kind of create more constriction for you. So that unease that you have in your body when you compromise would lead to a constriction, and a way of not being able to breathe, and not being able to kind of also flow with others, flow with your life, and to even deny that there is a problem, in a way that you are the problem, quote unquote, but like that you can do anything. So kind of denial of your part in it. And that would then make you not being able to be this intuitive role model. That would lead you into agitation. That would make you go up to your head. That would make your relationships being the same kind of way, and then would prevent you from feeling the acceptance of life and mirroring yourself in others. So that is the worst case scenario. What we really want you to do is to be able to tap into your intuition and live from there, and see the shocks that life give you as an opportunity for initiative and awakening. And also that they would help you to every time look more into what is your vision, and to choose the people that can nurture that vision, to not compromise with people, having people in your life that don't nurture that vision. And once you do that, you're going to be able to create relationships that are very alive, and they're very kind of precisely tuning into what your vision is. And you're going to feel with nature, with other people, where there's a lot of flow, where there's a lot of inspiration. And then suddenly your relationships are going to give you precisely what it is that you're looking for. And that playfulness that you're trying to force or find is coming naturally. And then suddenly the core wound flips and becomes the vocation. So then there is a lot of flow, a lot of ease, a lot of naturalness. And, you know, whatever you put out there is kind of, other people can see it and can see how it serves the world. And there is a lot of acceptance of what it is to be human, and what it is to, you know, even fail. And you start to see yourself also, you know, what it is yourself that you might not have been wanting to see. And you can use your relationship as a mirror, so that you also start to accept yourself more, and start to to breathe again, and then that will of course serve your intuition. And you are here to be, you're here to be powerful. You're here to be on a daily basis. I would say, you have a natural gift of for whatever you do, but you're here to work in a way with a system, with a society, with something that has the big perspective, I would say, in your own unique way, in your own unique style. So being a role model and kind of, with a big perspective. And it's important for you to have role models. You are a practical mind, so that's what could go a bit against you when you live from that mind, because again, we see you have a 25 here and a 25 here. So Mars for you, both the unconscious Mars and the conscious Mars that are around Venus are 25. So there is something in the immature masculine that makes you kind of constrict, makes you kind of, be maybe prepared for war or something, instead of just being more in the acceptance of what is, and to find your breath and to find your relaxation. So that's what's asked for you. And there could be things for you when you were 7 to 14 where you didn't feel like there was enough heart in people around you, maybe when you went to school or your parents or your teachers. So kind of see in your relationships when that emotional trigger come up where you don't feel like there's enough kindness or enough heart, and to stay there, not just go up into your head, because that's going to lead for you to exhaustion, and that's going to make you not being able to actually give the inner child what the inner child needs. And your inner child needs adventure, and it needs to see that it's possible, that other people have done it. So you're here, you could be a powerful mentor, but it has to do with also being able to sit with the emotional discomfort and just accept it and breathe through it, and not fall into the word to the sense that the world is not kind enough, and then live from the head. And eventually your essence is to be present in the now, and to just be here and self-assured in the now, in your intuition, from your intuition. And in that sense, you are kind of the new kind of human being, the sixth line, the future, the visionary, and that is close to nature and nurture. So that is a kind of broad, not a very specific essence, but it's a beautiful essence, because at the end of the day, the only thing that exists, right, is the now. It is the present moment, and you can be, your essence is showing that. So yeah, I think you are new to this, so it's kind of interesting to see if it resonated, and if you felt it was too complex, or if it made sense. I'm trying to use general words in how I express these things, but I mean, this is just like a 10-minute interpretation, but I hope anyway that you can see some patterns that feel like you recognize, and that you can start to actually look at in how you live out things, and just become aware of to start with. So thank you.